I had an epiphany, and I said, I wouldn't be here without him. Because the thing is, with all this stuff, with all this shit, you have to rise above. My earliest memory, since I was a kid, is my father hitting my mother in the face as hard as he could. And I remember seeing her on the floor and then looking at him, this giant of a man who I thought, my God, he says he loves her. What is he gonna do to me? And all I could think, how I want to protect her. How I want to protect her. And how wrong it was. And I said, I gotta be strong. And I gotta get strength so that I can protect her. Every time he came home, we were scared. We didn't know. I literally wet the bed till I was 14 years old because I didn't know what was gonna happen. I would wake up to glass breaking, just sounds, people screaming, and it was a nightmare. We lived a nightmare for years. And I remember my mother coming into our room and saying, we're leaving. Pack our stuff, we're out of here. And we would grab everything we had and we put it in garbage bags. And we would tie it up and we wait to go. And then she'd come back in and she'd say, we can't go. We can't leave. Where am I gonna go? And I just remember feeling like, let's go anywhere. I don't care, we can be on the street. But she couldn't do it. And he went on, terrorizing us forever. My mother died in 2015. She never escaped. I took my whole family back from LA to Flint. We call this Christmas from hell. I told my father, and my girls were smaller then, they grown now. I said, hey, don't act up. I said, my kids don't know nothing about any violence. They don't know nothing. I've never hit their mother. We've been married 27 years to this year. I've never ever touched their mom. I said, they don't know anything about it. They never seen it. Mm-hmm. So do not get drunk and do not act up. Oh man, I know, I understand. Just come on back. So we leave the kids with my parents, my mother, father, and we go out with some friends that we know, and we headed to Detroit, and we're gonna have a good time. I get a phone call. It's Terry, your father hit your mom. And I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. I just had this conversation. Just had this conversation, man. Yeah. What are you doing? I got on the phone, I said, okay, get everybody at the house. Get everybody out the house. I'm a grown ass man now. Now I'm a grown ass man. I'm not 5 anymore. I already know what's up. Get everybody out the house. Take them over to our aunt's house. I said, my brother was in town. I said, man, I called him up. I said, we going to get him tonight. Tonight. We get to the house. First of all, I tell my mom to go. He knocked her 2 sideways. Ma, go over to aunt's house. He's sitting in the bedroom like, ain't nothing happened. I said, so what's going on? Nothing. I said, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you not to act up? Didn't I tell you? Bam! 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 Grown ass man now. We beat his ass, CT. Now let me tell you something. And this is the thing. Now this is what I want everybody to get. I didn't feel better. I didn't feel better. It didn't work. Yeah. I thought that was all I needed to do was beat his ass. And I sat down on the bed and I just started crying, man. I was just like, it didn't work. Yeah. It didn't work. And I said, man, I thought if I could just make you feel what everybody else felt, then you would understand, and now everybody's cool. Then it would clean me up. But it didn't, CT. It didn't. And I didn't understand that. I thought I would feel better. I felt worse. Because the thing is, with all this stuff, with all this shit, you have to rise above. And I wasn't rising above.
Yeah.
I went down with him.
Yeah.
I went to his level. This
Yeah.
is why gang members, when you shoot back, now you just like everybody else.
Right with him.
You right there with him. There's a moment that I had to choose to rise above, but I didn't. And I beat his ass. And it didn't change nothing. My mom went right back to him because she was trained right in that way. Now she just passed away 2 days before Thanksgiving last year. Let me tell you the healing that took place though. A few years later, this was years later, I would say probably 7, 8 years, I had an epiphany. And it came to me and it said, what's so crazy, you have to understand and you have to find things to be thankful for. Okay? You have to find, because this is where your energy comes from. All energy comes from gratitude.
Ooh.
Everything. If you look at a glass half full and you go, man, that's all that is, you ain't got no energy.
Right.
But if you look at a glass and you go, man, we got half a glass of water. All of a sudden, you can make things work.
Yep.
I said, let me try this on, I gotta try this with my family. I said, I gotta think of one thing to be thankful for him. And I said, I wouldn't be here without him.
Yeah.
That's all that's the only thing I could think about, CT. And I said, okay. I called him up. I said, you know what? I'm thankful. I'm thankful that you're my father. Because without you, I wouldn't be here. This man started crying.
Woo.
This man started saying, I'm sorry, Terry.
Oh,
I'm sorry for everything I did to you. I wasn't right. I'm sorry. You know what? Where the punches, I thought the punches were gonna work, and they didn't. He got harder.
yeah.
But when I said, man, I'm thankful for you, it broke him. Broke him. I flew to Michigan, and I hugged him. Didn't want to, didn't feel it, but I said, I gotta do this for me. Because I gotta heal, because I'm going down. Like if you don't heal it, it's gonna come out in other ways, man. It's gonna come out in other ways. You will act up. And I realized, yo, I had to let that shit go.
Yep.
I hugged him, he hugged me back. And I said, you know what? I realized that I need you. I needed you to be my father, or I wouldn't exist. And if I could choose my parents, I choose you.